Hey guys, welcome to Crazy Days. Today is kind of a little bit different video. I've been tagged by Miah Crosby, and she has a channel called Miah Crosby, but her farm is called Crosby Indigo Farms. I'll get it right. And on Columbus Day, she kind of had a little thing going on about history and what was going on with history and what she was taught as history and what actually, when you start studying, they kind of tainted history a little bit. So she was just asking 3 questions. And so I'm going to try and answer those for her, and then I'm going to tag a few people at the end. And if you feel like you want to answer, that's fine. This is not to be a controversial video or anything like that. It's just kind of our observations, maybe. And the first one was, what is something that bugged you when you were in school? Something, you know, that maybe history-wise or whatever. And mine would be simply the cliques. You had all these cliques, and you fit into one or the other, you know, and they didn't cross over that often, which goes through life. Even here on YouTube, you have these cliques. And so when I was young, it's like I didn't fit into a lot of things because I wasn't athletic, I wasn't rich, I wasn't pretty. I just didn't fit into those things. So I was limited to which groups I fit into all through high school even. And so the cliques was one thing that kind of bugged me all the way through school. I found in high school my little clique, and I fit in fine. And mine kind of, I guess I got along with most anybody. So I could get along with the people that were athletic as well as those that weren't. I just wasn't in their group, but outside the group that they were in, I had many friends. So it wasn't hard for me, but I just didn't like the cliques. I didn't like being known to be in a clique, if you want to say. Okay, the second thing she was asking was, what lesson or event stayed with you throughout life? Whatever you learned something throughout this period of school that stayed with you even into today. Mine would have to be when they integrated the schools. I was going to a public school. It was already integrated. There was no, we didn't know any different. But they had to bring a black neighborhood school into our school. I just ended up with more friends. We didn't have an issue back then that I know of. I mean, granted, I was only in the 3rd grade, but even all throughout his high school and everything, we didn't seem to have the issues that they're having nowadays. I don't know what the deal was, but you would have thought back then when you start moving schools into one another, you would have issues. And I know some schools did, but my school didn't. We didn't really notice a difference except we had more kids. That was it. So I guess that stayed with me because throughout my life, I wanted to be friends with everybody. It didn't matter what religion. My first friend, I was Baptist. She was Catholic. It didn't matter. We friends all through high school. Great. I had several black friends. One of the first Christmases, one of the girls that drew my name was a black girl. And I think I drew another black girl's name. And I think that's my first time I got perfume. I just remember that. That was pretty cool. Okay, the third thing is, what would you incorporate if you had a school? Okay, I homeschooled my kids. So what I incorporated into my homeschool was that my kids were around different personalities, different religions, different people, different age people. My kids got along with adults really, really well because they were around adults a lot of times. But they also got along with children of all ages, children that were different religions, children that were different nationalities or different races. It didn't matter. My children were taught to respect each other, no matter what. And so that is the one thing I would think needs to be incorporated. And I know they try, but there's so many issues nowadays in some of the schools that falls by the wayside. And some of that is parents. I mean, let's put the blame where it is. Parents are very bigoted sometimes, and it fades over on the kids. So that would be something that I incorporated when my children were little, was teaching them that everybody matters. It doesn't matter what, all the differences. Everybody matters. So that's what I would have incorporated into a school. If you're interested in doing a video, I would like to tag Delectable Mountains, Alderman Farms, Future Dreams to Reality, Rain Country, and the Pratt Family Homestead. You guys want to do this? Go for it. Thank you guys. And thank you, Miah, for inviting me.